Khan, hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwa, Shalom. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief live stream. It's going to be real brief through the spirit. On my way to camp or what have you, kind of off to a late start. But needless to say, this information must come out. Now, I came across this article on Zero Hedge, which is pretty much talking to a podcast or what have you that Joe Rogan Joe Rogan had with the NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, and ultimately it was speaking about the next several years and how things are going to transition, okay, from a more AI based thought process throughout the world. Now we know this obviously, understanding that Revelations 13:16 must come to pass, and ultimately. Esau's taking a bold stance. Esau and the rest of these heathen as well. All right, because one thing we got to understand, Esau's leading the charge, but the rest of the heathen are joined unto him and they're riding right along with him. All right, Moab specifically, Moab's in tight with him. And they keep dressing up this little beef that they got where, America and China have this technological race that they're ensuing. Nah, man, listen, they're on the same team. Okay, we've said this before. They're on the same team, and they're striving for the same goal. All right, and that's a digital world. Okay, a one world order. All right, the fourth industrial revolution, as they call it. All right, and ultimately, this is the greatest act of rebellion. Okay, being repeated, because as we know, you had the Tower of Babel back during the time of Nimrod. Okay, during the time of Babel. All right, which that was the first great act of rebellion where they were trying to bring forth a one world order. Now what we're witnessing now, it's a technological Tower of Babel. They're trying to erect. All right, and they're only going to get so far. Okay, because this rebellion, this level of striving against the Lord, it won't be tolerated, and it's only a matter of time before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai pulls dude's card. All right, scriptures go into how who has striven against the Lord, who has come up against the Lord and was successful. All right, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the book of Job. We actually pulled this out yesterday at camp. Let me see something real quick. I want to say that's the book of Job, chapter 9. Before we get into this article, there's a couple of videos I want to share with you, Akiyam and Akwath, as well, within the article. All right, with this dude, Jensen, speaking on the plans of these elite. All right. It's no coincidence Trump is surrounding himself around these technocrats, bro. This is the CEO of NVIDIA, man. They're helping leading the charge in these data centers, and these GPUs, and these mega computer centers that are going to help pretty much help confirm the infrastructure needed, all right, to bring forth this diabolical plan. Look at Job 9:1, and it reads, "Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth." And this is actually Job speaking to Bildad, one of his friends that thought he was being chastised for wickedness, but in reality, Job was being tried. You see? And that's why Job said, doesn't the Lord do good and evil, man? The Lord's not going to always, it's not going to always be a smooth peaches and cream, man. The Lord will chastise us to try our faith. You see? But anyways, then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 of 1,000, bro. All right, and Esau's in the position where he thinks he can actually contend with the Lord. To contend means to go against, man. Esau thinks his technology is going to get him there. All right, he thinks his quantum computer, he thinks his Palantir technology, he thinks his AI abilities is going to get him to be able to supersede the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. He really, truly thinks this. He's in the trick bag. Look at Job 9:4. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength, right? Who have hardened himself against him and have prospered, bro? Who has hardened themselves against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and prospered? Nobody, man. Okay? And when you get this word hardened real quick, Salakia. When you get this word hardened real quick in the blue letter. Technological Tower of Babel. Bear with me. They're trying to erect. All right, and they're only gonna get so far. Let me get that down. All right, check it out. Let's try playing this again.
Strong's H 7185. Kasha.
Right, and it goes into when you read through the biblical usage, it goes in what? It goes into what? To be hard, right? Be severe, be fierce, harsh. When you jump all the way down to the bottom, it says to show stubbornness, man. Okay? To show stubbornness. And when you go to the book, okay, of 1 Samuel 15, what does it say about stubbornness, man? Let's see here. The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 22, and it reads, and Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? And he was speaking to Saul, okay? Because remember, Saul was given the commandment to eradicate Amalek and everything that belonged to him. He didn't do it. He didn't listen. But listen, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Here's the point. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, man. Okay? What's this? Micah tells us, pursuing the Micah, the 2nd chapter, it says, woe to him that devises iniquity. Okay? Which is talking to evil E. Evil E devises iniquity, bro. And look, it tells you that stubbornness is as idolatry, man. And when you get down to the nuts and bolts of this device they're trying to bring forth, what you're going to find out is that it's an idolatrous image. Okay? That C-hip. That device the size of a grain of rice. All right? And this whole AI movement that these heathen are pursuing, all right, is pretty much, the Esau is now AI and technology is his God. Okay? And that's part of the worshiping of the beast that you people are going to force to do when he brings this thing forth in his profession. When he tries to, at least. Let me finish this up. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. So I just want to highlight that point. All right, stubbornness is as idolatry, man. Okay, when you try to come up against the Lord, right, you're being stubborn. All right, and there's no one that has been trying to come up against the Lord or challenge the Lord or strive with the Lord like Esau. Okay, real quick, let me see here. Right. So let me read that again and we'll get to some information. Job 9:4 again. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who has hardened himself against him and hath prospered, bro? Nobody. So Esau is on the road to a loss unbeknownst to him. All right, let's go get this article real quick. Bear with me. Now, this article is from Zero Hedge. It's dated December 4th, 2025, right? And the title reads, NVIDIA CEO, all right, stuns Rogan with jaw-dropping AI prediction, all right? It says, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang presented Joe Rogan's audience with a vision, and the vision goes into a prophecy, right? Of AI so dominant, it could rewrite reality itself, bro. Okay, you see the stance that they're taking? Listen to this. All right. Hugh laid out a future where human knowledge completely takes a back seat to silicone brains in the very near future, bro. All right. And they already been in the process of social engineering you people to complying with this technological advancement they're making. All right. You people have, you've become comfortable with allowing AI to control your moves. You see? You people gonna fall victim to this next move. A lot of you are seeing the convenience behind it. It's called social engineering. Matter of fact, when you get that word social, let me look this up real quick. It taps right into it. And that's the spirit the brother Ayasha just did a lesson earlier, going into social engineering. That's how Esau moves. Let me see something real quick.
Social engineering.
Simple Google definition. It reads, the use of centralized planning in an attempt to manage social change and regulate the future development and behavior of a society. Okay, and Esau has gradually manipulated the people and brought on his diabolical mindset through his technology. Okay, to now where people now, hey, they're going to transition. But needless to say, look, let's go back to this article real quick. Let me read down a little bit into this article. It says, Huang didn't consider that when AI hallucinates facts or parrots woke nonsense from its training data cesspools, it becomes a tool ripe for manipulation by those who peddle stuff like climate hysteria or open borders. Huang's brushing aside AI safety fears isn't bold, it's blind to how this tech could supercharge, ideological insanity if left unchecked. Yeah, wait until I play some of these clips. Listen to this dude. Right. Anyways, however, in a rare show of spine from big tech, Huang declared President Trump our president and urged America to rally behind him, exposing the petty sabotage from those who can stomach success unless it's their guy calling the shots. Right. But needless to say, again, along with these Republicans, Trump surrounded himself around technocrats, bro. And they've hijacked his presidency, man. All right, but this is all set up by design. You see? Because there's a plan and plot behind what's going on right now. Now, check this out. I'm going to play this clip real quick. Hey, this is fair use. All right, this is for educational purposes only. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this clip. This is fair use. Bear with me.
And more of knowledge in the world will be generated synthetically going forward. Until now, the knowledge that we have are knowledge that we generate and we propagate and we send to each other and we amplify it and we add to it and we modify it, we change it. In the future, in a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, 90% of the world's knowledge will likely be generated by AI.
That's crazy.
I know, but it's just fine.
But it's just fine.
I know. And the reason for that is this. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
It's because what difference does it make to me that I am learning from a textbook that was generated by a bunch of people I didn't know, or written by a book that, from somebody I don't know, to knowledge generated by AI computers that are assimilating all of this and resynthesizing things. To me, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. We still have to fact check it. We still have to make sure that it's, based on fundamental first principles, and we still have to do all of that just like we do today.
You see that? 90%. of the Earth's decision making will be AI based. So we're talking about an AI takeover. All right, this is their plan. You see how they're dead set. You see the crazy look on this dude's face, man. They're dead set. They're not playing. Okay? And they try to dress it up to make it seem as if it's going to be for the sake of humanity. Nah, man, this is for the sake of control. Okay? This is going to leave these technocrats, these elite, in a position of pure control. Okay? Because then what they're not telling you is the deep dark reality behind what you have to do to join yourself to this system. You see? But we know. Check this out.
The company wants me to succeed. You know, the thing that, and we started out today talking about President Trump, and I was about to say something. And listen, he is my president. He is our president. We should all, and we're talking about just because it's President Trump, we all want him to be wrong. I think the United States, we all have to realize he is our president. We want him to succeed because
No matter who's president, we
that's
should have
right.
that attitude. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We want him to succeed. We need to help him succeed because it helps everybody, all of us succeed.
You see? It helps everybody, all of us to see. Yeah, okay. No. And again, understand that obviously the president is set up by the elite. He's a puppet. It all starts from the top. You see? It all starts from the top. And ultimately, again, it's for the elite to gain full control over the people. This new system they're trying to bring forth evolves around complete surveillance, man. You being surveilled. Okay? You having you no longer being organic, right? You now becoming synthetic. Okay, these silicone brains in the form of AI, hey, guess what? They want to put it in you. Okay, to the point where you're no longer even have to go on your phone and you can just start thinking stuff. And here it is, you bringing up websites and you can see it. Yeah, all types of crazy shit, man. You know, you just became the part of the internet of all things, man. But this is the diabolical plan that they plan on doing. Okay? And this is the reality of what's going on. All right? The workings of Satan that scriptures tell us. And these are these great wonders. Let me go here real quick. And he's talking about 2 or 3 years. You know, we know they're already talking about playing with the 2030, right, agenda. You already know. Right? Let's get this real quick. But guess what? All roads lead to the MOTB. All right? 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Real quick, in verse 9, it reads this. Even him who Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man in the form of the global elite. All right? And these heathen that are joined unto him as well. You see that Moabite? Oh boy, he's from, I looked him up. He's from Taiwan. He's Taiwanese. All right? Taiwan is a republic of China. Okay? Moab. Okay, look at Moab right there. He's my president, he said. All right? And he's dead set on helping him succeed. Because he's part of the tentacles of the elite. Okay, to bring forth their diabolical plan. Remember, he's the CEO of NVIDIA, man. NVIDIA is one of the leading tech giants, bro, in this whole process. You see? Look at this. Even him, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, bro. Okay? Which Satan goes into adversary, as we know, right? Which Esau is an adversary to the children of Israel and to our power. Look at this. With all power and signs and lying wonders, man. All right, when you tap into this lying wonder, what you're going to find out, bear with me. Let's go to the blue letter real quick. All roads lead to the MOTB. All right? Look at 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9 in the blue letter real quick. I got to get this word. Turn this up. There's the word wonders in the Greek.
Strong's G 5059. Teros.
Okay. Now, when you go into biblical usage, it goes into prodigy, portent. Look at miracle. Miracle. All right. Is one of the words here. Miracle performed by anyone. Okay. Now, check this out. When you go to Revelations, it's why precept got to be upon precept, line upon line. And when you go to Revelations real quick, You're going to see how this is all going to come together. When you go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 14, it reads this: and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, and we're going to get that word, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which is the image of the beast is everything you see around you, okay? And ultimately, Esau is brought back via the Renaissance, which is the revival of the Western Roman Empire. He brought back the gladiator games. He brought back the Senate, all right, the Senate House, right? The Democrats, Republicans, plebeians, and patricians, all right? From the structures you see around you, okay? The lifestyle, all right? His philosophies, look. That they should make an image to the beast which they had, which had the wound by which had the wound by a sword and did live. Again, this is talking to the fallen Western Roman Empire. But look it was wounded, but guess what? It did live, and it ended up living through what? The revival of it, which came through the birth of America via the Renaissance period, man, which started in Italy. Okay, the revival of the Western Roman Empire started in Italy, man, during the time of antiquity. You see? And ultimately, when you read Daniel 2 and 33, right, it tells you that the feet had iron in it too, mixed with miry clay. The iron legs is Rome, okay, via Nebuchadnezzar's vision, man. Okay, that Daniel was able to interpret through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Those iron legs was Rome, bro. But it tells you those feet had iron in them. Why? Because that's the revival of the Western Roman Empire that fell, bro. You see that? But anyways, real quick, I want to get this word miracle, right? To show you, I got to show you something real quick, which you already know, beloved Akiam and Akwa. You know, this is for the new listeners that may not know. Right, Revelations 13 and verse 14. Right, this word miracles.
Strong's G 4592. Semayon. Semayon.
Biblical usage. Look at a sign, mark. Okay, token. Why do you think that word mark's there? That word mark is there because all roads lead to the MOTB. This dude's going to do great wonders and great miracles through his technology, bro, which is inevitably going to lead to the chip. Okay, this is what this whole thing evolves around, man. This is the reality of this man's diabolical plan. All right, but he's going to lose utterly, man. The plan is not going to be a success. All right, but it is going to be attempted. All right, this is the reality. And the only way we're going to be able to avoid it is through the spirit and power, mercy and grace of our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, red letter, Yahweh Shai speaking. How do you keep the words of the Lord's patience? You strive for the truth until death. Okay? You don't stop believing. Okay? You stay rooted and grounded on the Lord, man, Yahweh Shai, bro. Believe in what's written. You know? No side missions. Don't sway to the left or don't sway to the right. Stay on that straight gate. Right? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. See that? And the elect is going to do it. You know, the elect is going to be preserved from the hour of temptation, which revolves around this chip, which shall come upon all the world. Right? Hence why it's a global move. Okay? It's not just a Babylon thing or a China thing or an England thing. Nah, man, this is a global thing. Right? UBI, right? Universal Basic Income. Which is a stepping stone to this process of this technical world that they're attempting to bring forth. All right, look, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, bro. All right, this is the reality, man, and this is what's coming, and this is what we're warning you, you Jacob, okay? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans still lock, stock, and barrel in the system, bro, not realizing that you're believing and trusting in Pharaoh to your own detriment. Okay, this man's not going to save you. He doesn't have plans on preserving you. Okay, your only hope is in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ. Your only hope is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. You see? And we understand that and know that wholeheartedly, man, because it's the Lord controlling the scene. It's the Lord controlling the move of Esau. You see? It's the Lord controlling this thing, man. Esau ain't doing nothing he's not supposed to be doing. You know? So, yeah, man, hey, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, Lord willing, you beloved Akiyama was edified. And Lord willing, you were spiritually fed through the spirit. Abaratazah, you were informed. All right, hey, they're moving. Okay? These heathen are moving with this, you know, technological advancement, this technological Tower of Babel. But as we know, as it happened in the days of old, all right, with the visitation of our Lord upon the first rebellion of these heathen, it's going to happen all over again, bro. Ecclesiastes 1:9, what is then is now. All right, and who has striven against the Lord and was successful, bro? Nobody, man. All right, Esau's fitting to lose, and he's so proud he don't even know it. But needless to say, hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath once again were edified, spiritually fed through the Spirit, and Lord willing, informed through the Spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, Shalom.